Hello and good morning, and welcome back to China News. Today we're having not one but three economists from three different countries. This is my first opportunity to have an interview here in Join Studios with Patricia, Tina, and Snowy. Each of them respectively are the head of economy research of Finland, Sweden, and Norway. Good morning. It's good to have three of you. We appreciate for three of you to come here and see us. Now let's start off with economy in each country. Finland, from the world rank that I've read, I know that your country's main export are electronics, chemical, industry products, and machinery. So, as an economist of Finland, what do you think about Finland's economy?
Good morning. The economy used to be very well, but we are now facing a heavy recession. Looking at the bright side, even though we are under recession, but while looking at our data, our GDP in 2017 is still growing compared to GDP in 2016. I think we slowly recover to a warrior country in no time.
I see. It looks like Finland's economy is getting right back to growing its economy. Next up is Tina, the economist of Norway. Norway is the land of the midnight sun, and your country was ranked number 29 in the ranking of GDP out of 195 countries. Which means Norway was one of the top 30 countries. So tell us, what comes into your mind when it's about Norway and its economy?
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Lloyd. Let's see. I think Norwegians have a wonderful lives and we are quite optimistic. As for our economy, I think it was getting better and better each year. We can see from the data itself. GDP in 2017 is higher than in 2016. As a Norwegians, I'm proudly to see the progress of our economy, and we are absolutely looking forward to see our GDP to grow even higher in the following years.
Yes, quite optimistic indeed. Despite on a drop on GDP in 2015 due to the oil price, Norwegians does not give up on themselves and their economy, and they struggle until they make it to the top. Now Snowy. As far as I know, Sweden was ranked number 21 out of 195 countries. It was quite a number, so tell us, what have you seen so far in the Sweden economy in 2017?
Good mornings. Well, what we have seen in the economy itself is that Sweden economy is getting better with rising demand and production reinforcing one another. This year's 2018, I think we'll have a stronger growth and bring even larger output gap.
Oh wow, I think we all can agree that each country has improving in its own way, and for now the data show that they might set a new record by the end of this year. For the next question, I believe that when someone loses their jobs, their family is affected. When many loses their jobs, it will eventually affect the whole country. So, unemployment has becoming a rate to measure one's economy state. And here comes the question. What do you think about the unemployment rate in your country?
Our country unemployment rate appears to be higher when we compare to Norway and Sweden, but we are still higher compared to other countries. And I think the thing that we can do is that our government needs to enforce some policy to improve this situation, such as increase the minimum wages in the country.
Yes, I think by increasing the minimum wages might reduce the people who receive basic income from the government and doesn't want to go to work will eventually going to have a job. How about Tina? What is your reading in your country, Norway?
Well, we have collected some information beforehand, and our research team realized that the unemployment rate in our country, Norway, was the lowest within the three of us. Apart from that, in recent years, our unemployment is getting lower year by year. Therefore, we hope that more of our citizens will have a job to live a better life.
I agree. A job does make our life better in all sorts of ways. So Snowy, just now you have mentioned that your country is getting better, and the question is, does Sweden have lowered down the unemployment rate?
After a certain amount of research in our team, we believe that the unemployment rate in our country will able to drop down even by the end of 2018. And we also found out that the shortage of skilled required labor will also increase.
Now, I believe that we have talked a little bit about each country's GDPs. Now we'll go a little bit further down into the details. What are the readings of Finland's GDP? And what can you foresee in the future based on the data?
As we all know that Nokia is a legend and a memory in everybody's mind, and it has helped Finland to create high GDP before, but now Nokia has declined and thus Finland has to consider another way on how to develop our country without Nokia. Now back to the data. Our Finland's GDP has increased 2.7% from 2016 to 2017, and even though we have lost Nokia, but our electronic industry are still going strong, with all these growing sectors such as telecommunication, machinery, and scientific instruments. This sector will be able to help us to increase our supply of labor and which will lead us to growth in our economy.
I see. Finland is making their way up in a slow and steady pace. So, how is Norway? Norway is a place where fishing is all its matter. Do fishing industry also becoming one of the factors that influence the GDP? Do your country also having the same idea as Finland, which is going slow and steady, or the other way around?
According to our data, there is a drastic increase in our GDP. The data shows that Norway GDP increased 1.8% and GDP per capita also increased 7.1%, which means our citizens will have more purchasing power. And yes, fishing industry did take a big part in our GDP. Fishing industry is 11.8% of the total exports of Norway. We took the other way around. Norway is going in a very fast pace in growing our economy.
It was great to see that Norway is going well and in the first place too. Okay now, Snowy, you have stated that your economy is going well and your unemployment rate is decreasing. Can we believe that the GDP of Sweden is growing?
In Sweden, we are mainly counting on exporting machinery, vehicles, and electronic machinery. So, with our exports, we have a strong GDP growth increasing in 2.4%, and our monthly data shows that the growth will remain higher in the near future. Our exports do help our economy going to a higher ground.
Speaking of exporting, how does it help your economy? Do you lower the export rates? How was it done? And also you said that Sweden unemployment rate is getting lower. So in order for Sweden economy to grow even bigger, how do Sweden fix the gap of the shortage?
Yes, it was exactly what you think. Sweden has a lower interest rate policy and this policy has benefited the Swedish output and exports. Even though it did not grow fast, but it still makes the economy grow. As for the gap of the shortage, it is a benefit to all the immigrants and other groups with a weak position in labor market because it is now for them to find a job a lot more easier.
Last but not least, question for three of you. So each of you as an economist, how well do you think your country able to perform even better in the future? What other suggestion will it be for further growth in economy?
Well, I think our country should try to attract more skilled foreign entrepreneurs. And by doing so, investors will be able to set up their company in Finland, and our government will also having a policy that allows foreign investors to apply a permit for living and working in Finland. And the government also makes the permit approval easier and the permit lasts for 2 years. I think this will really help boost our growth in the future.
As for us Norway, even though our unemployment rate are getting lower, but it does not mean that our citizens are all high-skilled workers. So I think our government should enhance more training program for citizens and also job seekers. Apart from that, government should also encourage immigrants to learn the languages of Norwegians so that they can increase their bond with Norway.
In order for us to grow, first of all, we have to increase our productivity in public sector. By doing that, we will increase our labor supply and we should find ways to extend working life. Next, it turns Sweden to a place where it will attract the investor to come and invest because it will strengthen our fundamentals.
Wow, it was fantastic to have all these great suggestions. We thank you very much for three of you for your time and thank you so much for having me around. Now that's it for today. I'm Zoe from Chongyang News and see you next Monday. Have a good day.